and welcome back to Wise on Wednesdays. This is all still a bit bizarre for me. I hope you have enjoyed the last 2 weeks. Going a bit left field in this week's Wise on Wednesdays. It's a question that I was asked last month as I took part in part of International Volunteering Month. So I took part in an event, networking event with students that are in Zambia. They were about 16, 18, up to maybe 20, and they were part of an organization, a charity that enables them to study and university, and they've had some of their students even come over to prestigious Oxford University. So I took part in this networking event. It was organised via work, um, part of the DEIB team strategy of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Okay. So I was asked why. Why did I get into tech and how? And it's something that I haven't hadn't looked back on for some time. And it made me question myself a little bit. I am really passionate about trying to get young girls, young women, young Black women or brown women into diverse women into technology because it is woefully, woefully poor in that arena. Um, I came into tech really by chance. I went to school, of course. I studied up to my A levels, um, and I studied for A level chemistry, biology, and geography. I knew I didn't want to study again. I didn't know at the time, actually, going through my education, that I was dyslexic. I am the only one in the family that doesn't have a degree, but in my career, I have been hard work, hard work, seeing gaps. I would say that I've been fairly successful in where I am. Still, there's still more in me. After my A levels, I I actually went to do not studying, but not a degree. I went into a course for a lab technician, and I I got sick. I got ill, and it yeah. I was in a hospital for a while. I had something called a Hydatidiform mole. Look that up. Um, because I was young and foolish. Look up what a Hydatidiform mole is. I had to have chemotherapy treatment at the time. So I was fairly ill. It was the only thing that would clear this internal mole. And looking back at this time, a Hydatidiform mole is a pregnancy that isn't formed. There's nothing there. It's very rare. And looking back at the time, the Lord knew this was not the path for me. I believe that I was very foolish, naive, but yes, he knew that this wasn't my path, and I love and respect that he saw that for me. So I was in hospital for a good amount of time. Chemotherapy, it actually messed up my reproductive system as well. Another story. And after that, I knew I didn't want to go back into doing any type of training as such. I went on to working in opticians. I actually, after some time, started to want to be a dispensing optician. I was doing everything but having the qualification of it. Um, but after a time, I got disillusioned by that too. Working in retail, even in the opticians, is a hard thing. So once I realised I didn't want to work in the opticians anymore, and I was there for a good amount of years. My boyfriend at the time, who went on to be my husband, who went on to be my ex-husband, said, Sophia, right, he was working for B Sky B, and he he basically gave me a shell of a computer, big box thing at the time. He says, right, let's make it work. So I had motherboards and modem cables, and I basically skilled myself up. And with that skill came the opportunity to work at B Sky B. Working at Sky was fun. I learnt so much. I moved around from desktop to um, exec support. I went to people's houses and sorted out their PCs. Went to Elizabeth Murdoch's, went to Tony Ball, who was the CEO at the time as well. I love driving the van because I used to drive a van at Sky, and I learned a lot. I saw a gap over the years, and I moved from different every 2 years. I've made sure I learnt skills to make me move, to just always upskilling, always learning. I saw an opportunity. I spoke to this person about release management, and he took me under his wing. He gave me a secondment, saw that I was interested, saw that I was committed, and there started my journey into what I do now. So my position now is a senior manager of change and release management at a SaaS company. It's fun, it's hard work. I have a small team, and a small team that's growing, um, challenging, because I work with engineers who at some times don't get the governance and process and all of the lovely stuff that I do. But it's an important role. Throughout my career though, I've had some low points, because it's challenging being a black woman in the corporate world. I would say most of the time, at times, being the only one in that room, um, unsure of yourself as well, whether you will be heard, will be seen, your ideas will be taken up. And over the years, I have learnt to be more my authentic self. When I moved from Sky, I went to investment banking, and I was always um, dressed well. I tend to dress well anyhow. I try to. I won't, proclaim to that. I try to, because my mother has instilled certain values in us, that we will be seen as black women differently. We don't want to be othered. And that's something that with my daughter and my nieces and my sister, we've tried to also um, embed into the life of our children, right? They have had opportunities that we possibly didn't, because we don't want them to be seen as other. So, how I dress, I don't want in a corporate environment to be seen that I didn't belong there. Over the years, though, I am now comfortable with expressing and being my authentic self. I think companies have changed slightly as well. So I remember the first time I came into work with blonde hair. I will say I've never had anybody try to touch my hair. I've never had anybody say to me, "Oh, Sophia, you've changed again." Maybe I've got a certain resting face that challenges anyone to do that. But when I got comfortable in my place of work in the investment banking world, I was authentic to myself. I dyed my hair blonde, um, and yes, I still felt that I could challenge. Was I always seen? No. Did I have to be careful about the stereotype of angry black woman? Yes, very much so. I then went on to work at the Home Office, Borders and Immigration. Um, yeah, that was intense. The technology behind what they do, what we were doing. I'm not going to go too much into that because I had to get SC clearance. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. It was important work though. Proud of it each time I go through the airports because I know I helped implement parts of the release strategy for borders and immigration. So yeah, that's to me. So where I am now, I have been at this SaaS company for coming up to 5 years. This year, a couple of months' time is 5 years. Um, Challenging. I've worked in corporations, large corporations. This company started off as a startup, and when I came in, very much a startup mentality. They have evolved. We are very much a professional network of professional, talented, um, innovative, collaborative people. I will say that. Is there still is there still work to do in terms of DIB? Yes, yes, there is, and it's why also I decided to be the ERG lead of the Black employees because having that diversity is important. I wanted to give something back. I never saw myself in the roles that I've or the places that I've worked at, but in growth, right? In exceeding and excelling. I have been fortunate, really fortunate to have had Black managers, women managers who truly supported me. But it just seemed their career, it was just here. And I know, and I'm always trying to go up here. Um, so it's still, as I've said, I'm 56. I soon to be 56. I still have a lot of growth in me. And I need to get to where I feel I can make a difference, and where I feel my skills can excel in. So back to the ERG. Yeah, it's really important for me to try and give back. I haven't done enough externally to try and encourage young women into tech. Last year, I had more time to go into events, doing talks and so on. This year, not so much. The work has been fairly relentless. There's a lot going on um, at our organisation. Um, but yeah, I want to do more. The stats for the execs or, you know, director and above level in tech for Black women, something like 0.04% of the top, FTSE 500 companies. That's got to change. I've even tried to encourage my daughter into tech. She has a degree in social and cultural anthropology, a master's in sociology with her thesis on migration. It's all been about people. AI that need those skills. And my daughter does not want to go into technology. And I hope that part of that hasn't been the struggle that she has seen me go through in terms of my career. I will say I've had some really great experiences. I've had some shitty ones as well, but the majority have been great. Um, I would love to encourage any young woman that is that feels that they want to go into technology, because it can be such a fun and rewarding career to be in. And just to also note, technology isn't just about the coding or security or AI or what else is a hot topic. AI is the hottest topic. Um, are so many other different roles. As I've said, I'm a release manager. I will always be in technology, have been in technology for over 25 years. So that's me. The whys, I got into tech, the hows. It also probably uh, comes out as to why I need to be creative. That is my outlet. So yeah.